Well, some of you had the chance probably to listen to our broadcast already yesterday. And yesterday was a little bit of a special day here on the trade show because our show was focused on artificial intelligence, about the possibilities, about the features TwinKit can offer you to run your machine in an easier way, to generate code and to do even physical AI. Now, after the show, I had the honor actually to work actively on the booth together with over 300 Beckhoff colleagues here. And I noticed that we are not only talking about AI, a lot of discussions were about motion, about our new AX1000 products. We talked about EtherCAT terminals, about general TwinKit functions, about new IPCs, and we had a lot of interest in the products from you as a customer, and honestly also from our competitors, which also showed up here on the booth. Luckily, all these topics are on today's agenda. For those of you listening right now, don't worry, because we got all the latest, greatest packed in this next 25 minutes. If there are specific questions, give us a call. You can use the meet@Beckhoff information, simply write us an email, or you can use the chat window right on your screen. You can say hello, you can greet somebody else, or you can write decent questions if there is something you would like to know in particular. Now, a trade show is always about the latest, greatest, new features, new functions. But the tricky thing is that a lot of customers would like to be backwards compatible. Quite a tricky thing to be backwards compatible but integrate the latest, greatest. And in order to solve this problem, backwards compatible but the latest, greatest, I invited Michael. Good morning, Michael.
Morning, Roland.
You're expert in our terminal system, not from the very first beginning, but since the year 2003. So what is the history and the development in our terminal system, Michael?
Yeah, you mentioned it. We started in 1995. At that time, we had the K-bus as the internal communication. We had 4 channels as a maximum in one terminal. Then already 5 years later, we could double the channel density, so 8 channels inside. 2003, everybody knows, we introduced EtherCAT to the market, and straight away we brought it into the I/O system. So we increased the speed to 100 megabit. And then 2009, again, we could double the channel density because of better electronics to 16 channels. Last year, we introduced 32 channels.
This one here, yeah.
Exactly. And this year, now the ED series is a new thing, which is basically a complete upgrade of the I/O terminals, electronic-wise, but also electric-mechanical-wise.
Yeah, and I noticed that the cool thing is, around here, something here is 2003, we integrate EtherCAT, which is running really from one terminal to the other. It goes all the way now to ED, but why have you changed now from EL to ED? So what is the secret of D?
The secret of D is like direct push-in technology. So it's a very simple explanation. With the standard clamp we have today, you have to open with a screwdriver, push in the wire, pull out the screwdriver. Direct push-in technology just means...
Hold on. You remember this with a cage clamp? You need a screwdriver, you need to release the cage clamp, and then you could wire the cable, right?
Exactly.
Now let's see what direct push-in is. Let's show it, Michael.
Very easily, no screwdriver, just the wire, just push it in, that's it.
This saves a lot of time, I assume.
You don't need the tool in the hand, and it saves up to 40% in wiring time, which is, of course, attractive for everybody who builds cabinets.
Yeah, if I got 8 or even 16 wires per terminal, this is quite a lot of time.
Yeah.
What else is the secret behind ED besides the push-in technology?
Yeah, so we used latest electronics and parts, so we are state-of-the-art, so we have a long product life cycle. And main thing, besides the push-in technology in the housing, we optimized the whole design. So all the connections in one row, the whole labeling, the LEDs, everything is easier to read. We have bigger ventilation systems. This lever is bigger, so it's easier to remove the terminals. And yeah, one important point, maybe we introduced the diagnostic app, from the MX system, now also to the I/O terminals.
Okay. And the backbone remains EtherCAT? That means we don't need all the terminals up in the front, or what is the portfolio look like?
Yeah, that we can see here. That is always one thing we pay a lot of attention to, that our systems stay compatible. Yeah. So the customer does not have to decide to use EL or ED, he can just mix. So here you see the standard EL terminals, those are ED terminals, and you can just mix them. So all the power contacts, communication contacts, they have exactly the same form factor, so that you can just smoothly integrate the new terminals with all the benefits you get.
Now, all the benefits, of course, creates interest. So what terminals are ready So where is the portfolio starting?
So we are starting with roughly 50 terminals. And of course, we have the standard digital and analog signals.
Yeah, okay.
We have also optimized the coupler. So for example, you can see this here, the direction, how the cable comes out of the coupler is now going directly in the place where all the cables go. So much more comfortable for the cabinet builders. And a lot of signals like serial communication, like weighing terminals, they are completely new design with much better features, 2 channels, optimized, also the price. So
Okay. That will be the final question. A lot of new features means more cost?
no, not more cost, because we use latest electronics. We also optimize the way how we produce them. So all the terminals are also more cost effective than the corresponding EL terminals.
Michael, amazing news, thank you. So more than 20 years with EtherCAT terminals, and there's always something new which improves the features and it saves money. This is the message I think you need from a trade show. Let's continue this way with features and cost and jump over to the motion and to Felix.
Yes, let's get things moving. Last year at the SPS trade show, we introduced our AX1000 and the AF1000, our economy servo drive and our frequency inverters. And I have asked Bradley from our office in Henley-on-Thames to join me for a salesman's look on these products.
Hello, Felix.
Bradley, what is especially exciting for you about AX and AX1000, AF1000?
So what we are seeing especially is small, it's compact, it's fully integrated into the Beckhoff ecosystem with EtherCAT and integrated with TwinCAT 3. It's our first inverter product, and one of the things we've done is to reduce costs for the OEM is we have a single and a 2-channel version.
That's quite rare in the market, right?
It is. We see it as relatively unique in the marketplace at this moment.
Okay, nice form factor, fully integrated, made in Germany, made in Europe, made in Germany, of course. But the big question for our customers is, of course, when does it start? When do we start delivering these devices?
So you can buy the AF frequency inverter now, but at the moment it hasn't got UL and safety.
Yep.
We will have UL and safety by the end of first quarter 2026.
Okay.
The servo drive, the AX1000, will be shipping at the end of first quarter 2026.
No.
And that will have UL and safety already.
Okay. So it basically starts now, the ordering starts now, and also the delivery starts then in the spring next year, in March.
Yeah.
And if you are now wondering what we consider, what we have in mind when we talk about economy servo drives, I think you are happy to receive some emails to make a competitive offer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything
Absolutely.
else new which we brought for this exhibition?
Well, we have a product roadmap
Yeah.
to increase the sizes of the 2 drives. So we will have a 12 amp servo drive and a 5.5 kilowatt inverter drive.
Okay.
Towards the in the roadmap in the future.
More muscles for the machine,
More
right?
power, more power.
Thank you so much, Bradley.
very
Have
much.
a wonderful time here today. See you later around and enjoy selling the motion technology.
Thank you, Felix.
Without the motion technology, nothing is moving, but without the controller, not even the motion technology is moving. So it is our pleasure and our duty to look together with you at our latest inventions and additions in the IPC portfolio. Felix, the beer map sized C6015 PCs turned into a big success for us. Why are they so successful?
Yeah, that's exactly right. They are that successful, actually the most successful IPC series that we have at Beckhoff.
Okay, wonderful.
Because they are extremely compact, you see that? They are versatile, they are flexible in mounting options, they are quite powerful using Intel Atom processors since the very beginning. And yeah, it's a big success story because they can be used in versatile applications. So classic control, PLC, but also as a gateway, security gateway, so non-controlling applications as well.
Very robust, rigid design. This year is SPS. We always try to bring something new for the SPS show. What's new this year?
Yeah, actually the success story began already in 2016, exactly. 9 years ago, exactly at this point, when we started with the C6015 in the first generation. And it looks a little bit that I brought the exact same PC 4 times.
One could get to that idea, yes?
Yeah, but that's actually not the truth. So it is the exact same PC type, but the inner values completely changed during the time. So actually, we now, on this SPS trade show, talk about the 4th generation of this PC.
Okay.
And that's actually the promise that we give to our customers. So we started 2016, and every 3 years, as a customer, you get an update of the CPU inside the exact same form factor. So get compatible successors, while actually the older generations are still long-term available. So you can still buy the very first generation from stock.
So 2016, 9-year-old PC product. Yeah, I think that's something to keep in mind. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's always a good reason why it's perfect to use Beckhoff IPCs to control whatever, right?
Okay.
And this year's SPS, we actually bring the 4th generation, utilizing Intel Atom Amstel Lake, so the X7 series of Intel Atom.
What's so special about them? I guess more calculation power.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah, that's one bullet point. So again, more performance for the same price in the same form factor. So actually, these are the efficient cores of the current Core I hybrid architectures.
Yep.
So you get more performance. We talk about, for example, 25 to 80% plus to the current generation EtherCAT Lake. Talking about Apollo Lake and Bay Trail, it's actually from somewhere 80 to 300% calculating power.
Wow. Okay.
Base frequency. Plus, the new Intel Atom Amstel Lake brings the opportunity to use the CPU cores in turbo mode.
Okay.
So actually, even with base frequency, I told you, they are extremely more performant than the older generations. Plus, we get the option for turbo boost on these CPUs.
I think we have to be here a bit precise, because the last 2 years we have been talking quite a bit about TwinCAT Core Boost.
That's
But
right.
TwinCAT Core Boost and Turbo Boost are 2 topics, right?
Yeah, you have to differ. TwinCAT Core Boost is actually used on the Core I architectures, where we can pin single CPU cores real-time capable on turbo frequencies, for example 4-point-something gigahertz on single cores, stable and real-time capable. The classic turbo mode is actually that you achieve turbo frequencies for a few seconds,
Yeah.
which is
spike. in
yeah, like
performance.
spikes, exactly, which is especially interesting for all the customers not using the PCs for control.
Yeah.
And that's what we exactly offer for the new Atom Amstel Lake series. There's a few more important things.
Yeah.
For example, there's an 8-core CPU available. So the first time Atom offers 8 CPU cores. And this is why we bring in a completely new design, which is based on our current C6025 form factor, but we add Atom Amstel Lake inside. So to get all out of the performance of the CPUs, we need a little bit more cooling profile, right? And
Makes
that's
sense, yeah.
yeah, that's why we have a slightly bigger housing, but up to 8 CPU cores, USB-C integrated for various kinds of applications.
Basically capitalizing on the entire developments. I think the currently available Intel i9 processors, they have up to 8 efficiency cores, right?
No, actually, it's 16.
16,
Up to
yeah,
16
true, okay,
efficient cores, yeah.
Okay.
It's 8 performance cores, 16 efficiency cores, and those efficiency cores are used now in the C6025 and C6015.
Thank you so much. I think that's a wonderful message that we are adding all kinds of possibilities to our IPC portfolio.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day with your 4 friends here, and see you later.
Thanks a lot.
I think everybody understands nowadays why the C60 series is a good IPC product, why it can be used in various applications. Many of our customers really like it. And I think I have another product with me which everybody can only like. That's my favorite I/O terminal. It's the EL2602. That's for switching LEDs, and it has a special feature. It can detect the zero crossing of the voltage. And by detecting the zero crossing of the voltage, we can figure out when to switch on to avoid voltage spikes for the LEDs. We tried this 200,000 times in a test setup, perfectly worked, no issues with the LED. So an intelligent detection of the zero crossing, which leads to a longer durability of your users. And we can actually do the same for the whole machine with our EL3 energy measurement portfolio, which I think is also quite relevant for everybody in machine building. Ralf Finken explained this to me a couple of years ago, because it's also his most favorite terminal, a very clever addition to a ordinary digital switching task. And I think that's what you always can expect from us, that we have a good idea how to take something which is maybe quite normal, quite regular, one step further. And one step further is also a big thing when it comes to the cabinet-free automation, which Roland and Robin are now exploring with a use case from East Westphalia.
This is so cool, Felix. You can cross at 0. I only cross at the green light and not at the red light, but you cross at 0. So this is amazing. Now, I actually also cross a line because I cross the line from the prototypes to the real products. Because now, Robin, we will talk about something existing, a product which we can use and which customers already use, and you have a particular interest in this product. But before we start this, you are such a young man, but you told me you already worked 16 years for Beckhoff. So how is this possible, Robin?
Yes, it sounds like a quite long time. I start with a technical apprenticeship right after finishing school, study electrical engineering and work for a few years in our system engineering. It's a department for traditional cabinet building and program machineries, and now for almost 6 years I'm in the sales department, and it's still fun.
Okay, so interesting because I also started my career with cabinet building, so we are basically the same roots and move our way into sales or product management. Now, inside the sales department, you have one product line, the MX product line, which is your personal favorite, because you can actually help customers in a particular way to eliminate the cabinet. So now what is the normal step if you meet a customer and would like to convince him to use MX? So what do you do?
Yes, the perfect start for such a project is to view the machine on site. We get a quick feeling for how much space is available, which machine functions can be combined on one base plate. We have to add short cable lengths, and it's equally important to look after special requirements that we are not covered with the MX system yet, because we need to find smart solutions for that.
Yeah. So I think in the beginning you really observe all the inputs, the outputs and the motion, and then you start with the base plate. So is the base plate basically then the backbone for the project?
Yes, we start with it, but we're going to detail planning after the initial meeting, and for that we use our circuit diagram, I/O list and functional list, and translate or transfer the machine functions into modules. Therefore, we have a MX configurator. It's a Beckhoff tool for planning the whole base plate with all the functionalities, with accessories and cables and so on. And with this, first solutions, we're going into discussion with the customer and prepare quotation.
And then basically it ends up with a complete piece part list of the, let's say, former cabinet within MX components. That's it?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Now, one customer which actually did exact that. So you visited the customers and you worked through this is the company Aumann. It's not far away from our hometown. It's about 380 kilometers from here, but 50 kilometers from Beckhoff Fair. And you visited the customer and you made the application, and we got a nice video. Now let's take a look what Robin and Aumann Engineering did together.
Aumann Espelkamp GmbH has embodied a true passion for automation for over 90 years. As part of the globally renowned Aumann Group, the Espelkamp site in North Rhine-Westphalia is a leader for the latest winding technology, which is crucial for the powerful electric motors and efficient drive systems that are used throughout the world in electromobility and the automotive and electronics industries.
Now you can see our new vertical needle winding machine. It's especially developed for rotor winding. One of the interesting things or main items is the design of the wire guide system, which allows us to achieve low cycle time and good quality for rotors in the future. And another important topic is the use of the MX system. The main aspect is the compactness, so it's directly integrated into the machine without any control cabinet. And another important thing is that it's less effort to implement the system into the machine, so we have a less effort for the mechanic and for the electric guys to lower the lead times of the machine and make it more compact. We use a Beckhoff Control PLC, for example, in all of our winding machines since 15 years. So we had a lot of development and work together in the past already. Now, since Beckhoff has the new MX system on the market, we can use it here and get a lot of support from Beckhoff by planning of the system, by integration of the system, and together we make the machine running.
Now with the experience of cabinet building, I think we both know that not everything can be equipped in the MX system. We don't have thousands of MX modules. So Robin, now what is our suggestion if customers need specific interfaces of functions or features?
Yes, for collecting sensor signals, we normally use our IP67 boxes. We have a wide portfolio of EP or EPP boxes, and we provide 24 voltage and the EtherCAT out of the MX system. And for third-party devices, we have nearly the same way. We can provide switchable 400 voltage AC, 230 voltage, or control power 24 voltage, 48 voltage out of the MX system. And with gateways or direct out of the MX system, we can combine everything together and
Perfect. So basically we think it from both sides. So if there's something missing in the MX portfolio, we have the EPP portfolio, or even external attentions.
yes.
Well, perfect. Robin, I hope you might meet a lot of more customers like Aumann, where we can use your expertise plus the MX system and make this a successful business.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, now when we talk about successful business, we also need to think about something which we have new in our portfolio, and this is our robotic. It's Atro. Let's take a look into Atro. Here we go. Atro is a synonym for automation technology for robotics, and it's made by Beckhoff. Now, Atro was presented a few years ago as a case study because we wanted to get an interaction with you to identify what you exactly need and how Atro can help you in your robot application. The result is a flexible modular system where you as a customer pick different modules and assemble your personal robot basically. It's not one off-the-shelf product, it is an assembly. And the best is, for example, what you don't see, because that's the inside. Because inside Atro is all the cabling. Because if you really take a look, there is no external wiring. Communication, power, fluid, EtherCAT, air, everything is inside the robot, protected from the environment. And my personal favorite, endless rotation, which means you can continue to rotate and you don't need to stop at a certain point and they go back and forth. Endless rotation means you save time because you can always go the shortest way to break your piece. Atro is here in the latest design, and if you need specific information, we have a wonderful movie presented at the Automatica trade show with Atro. Now we need to talk about tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow is also something good, but before that you talked about specific information, and I think that's something some of our customers are wondering about.
Okay.
So all this cool technology, and sometimes we have the question, as today, we had it in the chat, how can one get into it? How can one start it? And I believe there is no better place than your local sales office, right? Where we have our engineers all around the world.
Yes, we are present in 70 countries. In over 40 countries with direct people, the others with distributors. There are hundreds of skilled sales engineers, application engineers, all the way from Brazil to Canada, to China, to Japan, to New Zealand. Wherever you need us, we are there. The local contact is always the best starting point.
Okay, that's a wonderful thing to end, but we have to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow we have something for the AX1000, right? An additional product.
Yes.
We will look into the EDs again. What else do we have?
Yes, I think actually with the attention, with the motor extension for the AX1000, this is tremendous. We have to take a look into TwinCAT because there's much more than artificial intelligence. So there's a TwinCAT update coming. We talk about vision tomorrow. So there's just one thing you need to remember. 10 o'clock our time, you are back on your screen to see us.
Perfect.
Bye-bye.
Wonderful day. Bye.
Yeah.